Is asswise an acceptable English word? Is it a noun or adverb? I was surprised to see the New Yorker's February 26 article titled, Boehner Defends Decision to Remain on Ass, which was chock-a-block with the word ass. Minutes after telling the United States Senate to get off their ass to avoid the deep spending cuts that will take effect this Friday, House Speaker John Boehner called an impromptu press conference to announce his intention of remaining on his ass for the foreseeable future. Mr. Boehner's words drew a strong rebuke from Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, who said that Mr. Boehner's suggestion that the Senate get off their ass while he remained on his seems like the height of hypocrisy, asswise. My question. Is it acceptable, or sometime welcome, for decent statesmen to repeat the word ass in public, e.g. in a press conference and in mass media in Western world? In our country, ass is a word not suitable to utter in public. Is remain on one's ass a precise antonym to get off one's ass? What does asswise mean? Does it mean in terms of the implication of ass? Is it used as a noun or adverbially here?
When you read biographies of politicians and other public figures going back many decades, you see that crude language is by no means a recent phenomenon in the precincts of power. What has changed dramatically in recent decades is the willingness of some news outlets to reproduce their salty language. The New Yorker is among the publications that have adopted this relatively new approach. And of course, many online-only outlets are even less circumspect about crude language than the New Yorker. It hardly comes as a surprise these days that if political opponents start talking colorfully about one another's posteriors, or keisters, as one politician preferred to call them, the verbatim version of the language will come out. On the other hand, as far as I know, the Associated Press still hews to the older standards of diffidence toward coarse language. To that end, the Associated Press Stylebook, 2002, lays down the following guidelines for handling such words. Obscenities, profanities, vulgarities, do not use them unless they are part of direct quotations, and there is a compelling reason for them. When a profanity, obscenity, or vulgarity is used, flag the story at the top, eds, note contents of fourth graph. Then confine the offending language in quotation marks to a separate paragraph that can be deleted easily by editors who do not want it. In reporting profanity that normally would use the words damn or God, lowercase god, and use the following forms, damn, damn it, god damn it. Do not, however, change the offending words to euphemisms to do not. For example, change damn it to darn it. If a full quote that contains profanity, obscenity, or vulgarity cannot be dropped, but there is no compelling reason for the offensive language, replace letters of an offensive word with a hyphen. When the subject matter of a story may be considered offensive, but the story does not contain quoted profanity, obscenities, or vulgarities, flag the story at the top. Editors, the contents may be offensive to some readers. Regrettably, AP fails to identify which words are obscene, which profane, and which vulgar, perhaps to avoid shocking the reporters and editors who occupy a typical newsroom. It's a darned, shame, really. But to answer your questions, in much of the United States, ass continues to be viewed as unacceptably vulgar language, though probably not as outright obscene in most places. Remain on one's ass is as precise an antonym for get off one's ass as I can readily imagine. Asswise, as opposed to wise ass, is not a word in common use in this country, but it undoubtedly means something along the lines of with regard to, on the subject of, or in connection with asses.
No other representatives have recently been quoted using the word posterior, which may sound less crass. Remaining on one's ass seems to be the equivalent of sitting on your ass in that you are too lazy to get up off your ass, out of your seat, literally, and do something about a problem. While both phrases carry a somewhat vulgar stigma, you are correct that they are antonyms. Asswise may be a play on words for wise ass, meaning someone acting bigger than his or her britches in a jaunty way. See also smartass and jackass. I do understand the term is cited in op, and don't want to get it base backwards.
I would not suggest any use of ass to be acceptable in formal speech, but I would also not suggest statesmen are not individuals entirely limited to formal speech. If a statesman were to be overheard saying such a word, it could be used in formal speech as a quotation. I believe the New Yorker used it here because of the unique humor of the quote, although they could have rephrased it to be more clear. I would agree that remaining on one's ass is sufficiently antonymous with getting off one's ass. As wise in this case clearly refers to whether one should A. remain on one's, or B. to get off one's, by which it is suggested that Bonner's remark is hypocritical, and is used here prepositionally. The hyphenated wise suffix is occasionally used to designate whatever precedes it as a topic for discussion or of matters concerning. Compare. Mr. Bonner's suggestion seems like the height of hypocrisy, as wise. With Mr. Bonner's suggestion seems like the height of hypocrisy, if we're speaking on the matter of whose ass is where.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.